And joining me now is New York Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman, who spoke during the House Judiciary Committee hearing held today. So, Congressman, thank you very much for being there. I know there were protests on both sides, but what is your take against, of course, Jim Jordan's, contention that this is a political prosecution and that New York has a terrible record on crime, which is disputed by the DA and by the statistics?
Look, I think it's very clear that this is a political stunt, that Jim Jordan, 2 weeks after Donald Trump was indicted, has decided to come to Manhattan to try to attack the Manhattan District Attorney who charged Donald Trump. And what makes it even worse is the reporting that Jim Jordan and others in the House Republican Conference have been coordinating and colluding with Donald Trump to push forward with this investigation. Obviously, crime is a significant issue all around the country and in Manhattan as well, where my district is, but it is going down in the aftermath of the pandemic. And the biggest source of crime is guns and gun violence. And of course, Republicans block common sense gun safety legislation all the time. They refuse to bring it to the floor, even with more and more mass shootings increasing around our country. So this is a waste of taxpayer money in order to support Donald Trump and his defense of his criminal prosecution. And it's simply a political stunt designed to do that, masqueraded as an issue, as a focus on the Manhattan District Attorney's statistics, which, of course, Congress has no jurisdiction over.
Now, many of us know you from your previous incarnation on that first impeachment hearing when you were one of the key staff lawyers on the staff, now a freshman member of Congress. What are you learning here today about the way this committee is going to operate right now, with doing this rare? I can't remember the Judiciary Committee going into a field hearing before.
Right. This is, I guess, the second one. They went to the border in Arizona, the Judiciary Committee did. But this is disappointing because I think Democrats would like to really engage with meaningful criminal justice reform. We not only need to take guns off the street, but we also need to invest in mental health treatment. We need to invest in substance abuse treatment. We need to focus on reentry, which all will reduce recidivism while making sure that we, of course, keep our streets safe by incarcerating those who commit violent crimes. But the Republicans are not interested in having that discussion. They're interested in using this hearing for political purposes to undermine the district attorney. And that's all this was about. They don't have jurisdiction over this investigation, and they're trying to create after the fact rationale, which is why they don't mention Donald Trump at all in this hearing, because they know that they're in big trouble in the lawsuit with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to determine whether or not this is a legal and legitimate investigation. It's not. They are acting as the defense lawyers for Donald Trump, and it's really disappointing because I and many of my Democratic colleagues would really like to engage in the policy to reform our criminal justice system, to bring down crime and to increase public safety, and we don't have honest brokers on the other side.
Do you think that anything can ever be done in a bipartisan way to deal with some of those deeper issues?
Well, the Democrats tried last Congress, as you may remember. We passed comprehensive bipartisan gun legislation in the House, but it was held up because of the filibuster in the Senate and ultimately did not get to President Biden's desk. There was bipartisan legislation, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, in the aftermath of the Uvalde and Buffalo mass shootings. But what's sad is it's almost as if it's background noise now. We had yet another mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party in Alabama yesterday. We've had several other mass shootings since Donald Trump was indicted, and there's no discussion by the Republicans on the Judiciary Committee about the public health emergency that assault weapons and mass shootings are creating all across the country. 75% of murders are because of guns. Guns are the #1 cause for children's deaths in this country now, and yet we're not having that discussion, and that is a true shame.
Congressman Dan Goldman, thank you so much for coming out of the hearing and talking to us today. We do appreciate it.